Hi, this is Bruce, and today what we're going to do is look at how we can improve recorded audio using Adobe Audition. The idea here is to, first of all, convert our track from stereo to mono. This will bring voice audio kind of forward, front, and center. Second of all, we're going to use EQ to get rid of very high and very low frequencies. Third, we're going to use either noise reduction or denoiser to get rid of any kind of room noise or ambient noise. Then after, we can look at adding some compression. And then finally, we'll make sure that we're fading our audio in at the beginning and fading it out at the end of the track. So I'm just going to open up a WAV file here from a recorded tutorial that I did. And we can take a quick look at the waveform. Hi, this is Bruce, and today we're going to look at how to get our own web server set up, starting with purchasing a domain, and then purchasing web. So we can see we can hear that the audio is fairly clear. We can also see that for the most part the amplitude is fairly regular across the waveform. I can also see that I've got a couple of things that I need to clean up. Copy that, paste it into like that. A little bit of a clicking with my voice, using terminal with my tongue. We added an SSL certificate using Let's Encrypt, and maybe a couple of places here where my voice is getting a little loud or a little soft. So let's start off. We will convert this to mono. Right, so you can see, right, instead of keeping it in stereo, we're going to convert it to mono, mixing the left and the right mix together. Sometimes you want to take all the left, sometimes all the right. In this case, I'm going to do a mix. So now you can see, obviously, that the waveform has gone from stereo to mono. Let me just, while I'm here, just do save. And give a quick listen. Hi, this is Bruce, and today we're going to look at how to get our own web server set up, starting with purchasing a domain. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is look at how we can get rid of the noise floor from the room. So I'm going to flip on the frequency analyzer here, and I'm going to find a nice quiet place where I'm not talking, so we can get a noise print of just the room noise. So if we look here in the analyzer, we can see the sound. So if I click right here and play, it's available. So you can see the sounds or the analysis of the frequency when I'm speaking, and then we can see very clearly that this is a nice quiet part and should be good for taking our noise print. And you can see here the noise, the ambient noise from the room, or the bass noise from the room. Right here, you can see there's a little sound I'm making, probably keyboard or shifted in my chair. Right. So we want to just ignore that, or we want to not capture that. So I'll capture this, see if that's good. So effects, noise reduction, capture the noise print. And so now, if we go into the noise reduction, we'll go to this point here, and we can see there's no noise. And if we just go back And we can see by toggling the power off in the noise reduction, we can see how much noise is in the room. Let's just see that again. Turn it back on. Right. So you can see how much the noise has been reduced here. So we could apply that. We could select and apply that to the whole thing. But let's take a look at another way of doing it that might be even simpler. If we come over here to our effects rack, and we click on Noise Reduction, Denoise. And we'll go to the same point. So we can see the noise that's getting reduced here. If I go back to that point and turn it off, we can see the noise. So it does a similar kind of a thing, maybe a little bit easier, and seems to be working just fine for this. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that back on, and we can apply that later. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is add that parametric EQ. In order to, and it's already there, selected from last time. So normally it would come up and you would have something like this. See, all my information is already pre-added. And what we want to do is we want to get rid of the lower sounds, so below the human voice, and we want to get rid of the higher sounds, so above the human voice. And I just need to go and complete the purchase. Okay, so while that's completing, let's flip over to Digital Ocean, which is a so we're doing a good job here of getting rid of some of the sounds that we don't need for the voice, and we'll just close that. And again, later on we'll have to apply that to the entire track. So the next thing we can do is we can add some compression. In order to even out the volume of lower and higher areas in the track. So I'm going to go click on Effects, Compression, Dynamics. So you can see my compressor here is already selected. And now if I've got the threshold set for minus 12 decibels, so anything that's above minus 12 will get pushed down. I've got the ratio set at 3:1. Usually we'd want to set that somewhere between 3:1 and 6:1. And then for quieter places, I'm going to add a 3 decibel gain so that it should bring up anything, any audio that's too low. So let's see how that sounds. Hi, this is Bruce, and today we're going to look at how to get our own web server set up, starting with purchasing. Okay, I think that's pretty good. It adds a little bit of compression without being too aggressive. And let's see what happens to the waveform if we click Apply. And you can see the waveform has changed a little bit, gotten rid of some of the problem areas. You'll notice that we've no longer, the sounds for these have been diminished. Okay, so we'll copy that, paste it in, although it's obviously still there, and we can do a little bit of spot healing to get rid of that. Actually, let's do that now. So I'm going to turn back on the analyzer. We can see that sound right. Let me just zoom in a bit here. Paste. So we can see that sound right here. And I'm going to zoom in a bit more because it's right at where I'm speaking. And I'm going to grab the healing brush, and I can resize it a little bit using my square brackets. Hold down Shift, pull that down, paste it into, there we go, and it's gone. Let me just take a quick peek, see if there's any other places I need to. Maybe here. Okay, and now, oh, that's fine. Okay, I think that should be good. So the last thing we want to do is have a little fade in and fade out at the beginning and the end of our track. So you can see here. Right? We can just use this to automatically fade it in so we don't start too abruptly. And we'll go to the very end and use this to fade it out. Okay, so now to finish up, what we're going to do is we're going to apply those effects to the entire file. And let's give a quick listen. Hi, this is Bruce, and today we're going to look at how to get our own web server set up, starting with purchasing a domain, and then, so that sounds pretty good. So let's listen to that quiet area. Yeah, you can see that our noise floor is nice and quiet with some good clear audio. So we've, just to summarize, we took our stereo and mixed it down to mono to have the voice front and center. We added some noise reduction. We got rid of the very high sounds and low sounds using Parametric EQ. We compressed the audio so that the volume levels would be more consistent throughout. We did a little bit of healing too on a couple of places. And then we finished up by doing a nice fade in and fade out. So we'll save that. And I hope this helps.